This is Christian, my friend and old roommate. Like most guys in their early 20s, we spent a lot of time messing with each other.
No! Don't you dare leave me up here.
That was until he decided to move to Alaska. With nearly 4,000 miles between us now, other than randomly texting him a picture of Momo, there isn't a good way to mess with him remotely. But I've got a plan for that. So here's the plan. Sending texts is great, but I want to create a more unique way to stay in touch with friends and family remotely. Something that actually interacts with the physical world. I had a few ideas in my head, so I jumped into CAD and started designing. After thinking over a couple different options, I decided on a relatively simple design. This is going to be a box that houses some electronics and a servo motor. The servo motor will attach to an arm that extends outside of the box and holds a sign of your choosing. When activated, the sign pops up. While the parts were printing, I was off to write some code to control the whole thing. The code on this is fairly straightforward, but the important part here is how we're going to get the signal. And that's where this comes in. This is an ESP8266 development board. This little microcontroller is Wi-Fi capable. So with some clever code that I stole from the internet, we can create a device that can be controlled from anywhere. For the sign, I opted for a middle finger icon. Basically, I'm going to use all these very modern tools just so that I can give my old roommate the middle finger from anywhere in the world. With all the parts ready, all that was left to do was to assemble everything. I'm calling this little device the F-off machine, but let me show you how it actually works. You plug in the device via a USB-C port on the back, give it a minute to boot up, and connect to Wi-Fi. Once it's ready, you can use the IP address to connect to the device through a web portal. Then with some third-party software added on top, this device can actually be accessed even outside your own network. Once you open up the web page, you'll see you have a bunch of buttons you can click. To control the device, all you have to do is just pick one. If I press F off, the message will pop up. Then to bring the message back down, you just press reset. Now you may notice I have a few more buttons here. In the final version, I ended up adding a few high power LEDs that I can toggle on and off just in case I want to add a little extra annoyance in there. And for those of you who maybe wouldn't want to insult your friend with this device, don't worry, the sign is interchangeable, so I made some example alternative messages. Now that everything was done, it was time to pack it up and ship it out.
There are definitely a few things I would change if I was to do this again. I would definitely move these LEDs from the front to the top. That way they light up the sign in the dark. Another change is I think it would be cool if you had a button on the device itself to reset the sign rather than using the web page. That way you know the person saw the message. I also think there definitely exists a variation of this design that's more like an alarm clock, which I think could be pretty fun. But I'm probably not going to do any of these things because I have some other projects I want to work on, so make sure you stick around if you want to see those.